Have you ever heard of rituals involving blood, isolation, or even bizarre diets? Join us as we unravel 10 cult practices that blur the line between devotion and obsession. A cult is often defined by its secretive nature, control over its members, and its unconventional beliefs. Unlike mainstream religions, cults engage in rituals that challenge societal norms. Cults manipulate not only belief but behavior. Their rituals are designed to create a sense of loyalty, fear, or altered consciousness that mainstream religions don't rely on. Brace yourself for practices that range from odd purification customs to ritualistic punishments. Each one gives us a glimpse into the world of extreme belief systems that will leave you questioning the limits of faith. Blood oaths are used to create an unbreakable bond of loyalty in cults. One chilling ritual involves a new member cutting their hand, mixing their blood with that of the leader, and swearing eternal loyalty. This supposedly leads to the formation of a physical and spiritual connection that transcends all worldly bonds and makes them almost inseparable. This act ensures that there's no turning back. Breaking the oath would have severe consequences like death or misfortune. Such rituals often leave members feeling psychologically trapped in a bond they can't escape. One infamous cult even required initiates to drink blood as part of their initiation ceremony, cementing their bond and hence sealing their fate. One of the most powerful tools cults use to maintain control is isolation. By cutting members off from their families, friends, and the outside world, they ensure that followers become emotionally and mentally reliant on the cult for survival and affirmation. The leader becomes the sole authority, and the outside world is portrayed as corrupt or evil, while the cult space is considered a sanctuary. This is done to ensure that no outside perspectives or contradictory information reaches their followers. This process is known as information control. Some notable case studies depicting extreme control incorporate Manson family, Branch Davidians, and Children of God. Followers were isolated in remote locations where leaders enforced strict control, often using apocalyptic or spiritual beliefs to maintain authority. Eccentric members were isolated and convinced that self-improvement and truth could only be achieved through the leader's teachings. Purification through fasting. Cults like Raelian promote fasting as a way to achieve spiritual clarity and purification and transcendence. Control through food. In cults like the 12 Tribes, members often adhere to veganism, which is dictated as a means to maintain spiritual salvation and purity. Obedience tests. The Church of Scientology requires followers to undergo strict detoxification procedures, including special diets and saunas, which they claim will rid the body of toxins, further solidifying the loyalty to the community. The Falun Gong movement, for example, encourages followers to avoid toxic foods like meat and alcohol, creating a divide between believers and non-believers. This fosters a sense of spiritual superiority and isolates followers socially. These practices induce trance-like states, helping followers feel a deeper connection to the leader or divine force. The repetitive nature of these practices bypasses logical thought, reinforcing cultish unity and spiritual cohesion. Cults often imbue ordinary items, like stones or symbols, with sacred meaning. Glorifying these objects signifies devotion to the leader and the cult's ideology. Many cults hold apocalyptic beliefs, with followers convinced that the world is approaching its end. Rituals tied to these beliefs often involve preparing for the final days through prayer, fasting, or other symbolic acts. Cults use collective punishments disguised as spiritual purification to create fear, break resistance, and tighten control, making followers more dependent on the leader and united in obedience. In cults, arranged marriages are seen as divine mandates, dictated by the leader to fulfill spiritual purposes, not personal choice. Leaders often claim to channel higher powers, speaking directly to gods or spirits, therefore manipulating the followers to render them increased obedience and submission because of their supposed divine status and affiliation with God. And last but not least, the eccentric practices of cults also encompass the eerie. Some cults use ritual deaths or stage sacrifices to demonstrate total devotion, instilling fear and reinforcing the leader's ultimate control over life and death. While extreme, these practices reveal the intense grip belief systems can have, driving followers to complete submission. Which of these practices surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. If you're fascinated by the strange and the mysterious, hit that subscribe button for more content that takes you deeper into the unknown.